was requested to make this top table piece for a customer. It was their mother that contacted me, and she wanted letters and a heart shape for their top table. They wanted it in the wedding theme colours, which was lilac, lavender and mint. So basically I'm just cutting the lavender, the artificial lavender, for placement. I also used mint iridescent little heart-shaped flakes, and also lilac aurora borealis mylar flakes in this piece as well. I also used real dried ferns and real dried hydrangeas. Hydrangeas was one of the flowers in the wedding bouquet, and along with the lavender, which was in the table displays as well. The bride didn't know about this getting made. It was her mother and father that contacted me and asked me to do this commission piece for her. The letters are about 6 inches tall, 6 inches wide by about 2 inches deep. Each letter takes approximately 400 mils of resin, and the heart was 500 mils. So this is me just putting in the first layer of resin to each of them. I put some really fine glitter flakes in there as well, but it's hard to pick up. Hard to pick up with the light. So this is the first layer. The customer's mum asked me to put some pictures of the bride and groom, their favourite pictures in the heart. You will notice further on that I put pictures on both sides, but I decided to take the pictures on both sides out. I just didn't like it, so I just used coloured mint paper on the other side. The pictures I laminated with laminated paper, and that makes them waterproof, and so they can be used in resin. This is me just popping some large bubbles that were rising at the surface. Just using a toothpick, nothing special in the equipment there. These are quite substantial, these letters. The customer also wanted the letters to remain clear, no pigmented colour in them, and she also wanted lights put in them. So you'll notice later on that I put lights in. Just using a heat gun to get rid of any other major air bubbles. These are the mint green, almost like see-through sequins, mint green colour. They're really pretty and they're heart-shaped. So I used that in the bottom layer. Very sparkly. A lot like confetti actually. They look a bit like confetti, but more clear. This is the largest set of letters I've done so far. I've done a smaller set of a word love with rosebuds, and that came out really well. I used rice lights as well. That sold quite quickly on my Etsy shop. I also have a web page, which is www.uniquecreationswithanx@the end.com. I do many forms of artwork, resin art, resin geodes, alcohol inks. I make tutu dresses, jewellery, lots of different kinds of things. I like to challenge myself. I will be uploading more videos when I make more things. So if you want to follow me, please subscribe to the channel, and you can watch me make lots of different things. This is me adding some lilac iridescent fine glitter as well to the piece. There's a lot of work goes on into all these pieces. You've always got to remember that although you're working from the bottom, that'll be the front. So you always have to keep that in mind, and also making sure your letters are the right way up and the right way round. Now I'm placing the dried hydrangeas. These are real dried hydrangeas. Placing them in the pieces. I always work on odd numbers, 1, 3 and 5s. It always looks better when you do things with odd numbers. Don't know why, it just seems to work better. I'm sure I was told that by an interior designer years ago, when I wanted to be an interior designer. These are the pictures I mentioned earlier that had pictures on the back as well. There's pictures on the other side that you can't see, but I decided not to use them. I didn't like the back picture. I didn't like it in the white. So you'll see soon that I've taken them out and replaced them for a just plain mint green background, because this will be the back of the piece so you can see. Just placing the hydrangeas where I feel they'll look nice. Bearing in mind that we want to keep the piece quite clear. I'm always thinking while I'm doing the things. Sometimes I have an idea already before I start, and then other times it's just see where you go. Just go with the flow. Hope you're enjoying it so far. You can buy these large moulds from eBay. These are the largest ones. And as I say, they're quite substantial, take a lot of resin each. And resin is quite expensive, so bear that in mind in your pricing. I've just started placing the real dried ferns as well. As I say, you can see the green leaves that I cut, but I decided not to use them. They're just too big and bulky. Always make sure that when you are drying out flowers, silica sand is probably the best thing to dry flowers out. I've tried many different ways, and that's probably the best way to do it. Leaving them for at least a week, 2 weeks. Just working out where I'm going to place everything. Things do move slightly in resin, so just bear that in mind as well. So every so often I'll maybe move them back to where they were. Just make sure they don't move too much. The longer you leave resin, the thicker it becomes, so the less likely things will move. These are the pictures I was mentioning, but as I say, I've took these out, as you'll see in the next set of clips. Just showing you a wee bit close up what we've got so far. Hydrangeas look really good, and they're in lilac, which is the colour theme for the wedding, lilac and mint. That's the pictures gone, as you can see. And you can see I've replaced them, but with just a mint background. Just mixing up more resin. As I say, I always mix up the resin off camera, because it does take about 4 or 5 minutes each mix. Resin is very particular. You've got to get the ratio spot on or it won't cure. That's before you start any project. You have to make sure the resin's properly measured. Sorry, my sleeve's in the way. This is me adding some iridescent aurora flakes into the resin. These are really beautiful and really sparkly. Just adds another wee dimension. If you want to see other makes and tutorial videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll be uploading more. I do the voiceover after I've done the video. The reason for that is because I have to wear a full respirator mask, so my voice would be a bit muffled if I tried to do it along with making. This is me just using my heat gun again. Pop out any large bubbles. Just got to make sure there's no air bubbles underneath the picture. And the pictures chosen were the bride's favourite pictures of her and her husband. The bride's name is Emily and the groom's name is Sam. And it was their wedding on the 15th of September, which I was a guest at. You will see the top table display at the end. Just working out the placement of the lavender. I couldn't get real lavender. Well, I could, but I just didn't have the time to dry it out the amount of time that was needed. I already had the hydrangeas dried from last year and the ferns, so that was ideal. Sorry about the mask in the way. Constantly stopping and checking and having a look and seeing how everything's going. I was really pleased to get asked to do the top table. Because I know the bride wanted to keep it as a keepsake after the wedding. So that's why I did the lights separately as well. So that she can maybe place them further apart on a fireplace or table or something. Something that can be kept for years and years. Still working on placement until I'm happy. Another sleeve shot. Sorry about that. I should really check my camera. And this is just a little close-up of what I've done so far. It's hard to catch the sparkles. But it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with it so far. And here's the next layer of resin. Just measuring it out so I make sure I'm using the same amount in each one. I want them to be at the same level layered wise, if that makes sense. Although the heart does take a little bit more. You have to be quite patient using resin, because then you have to let the resin set before you start the next layer. So it's quite a long process, but it's well worth it in the end. I use every single drip. Two-handed. Sorry for the sleeve again. Just using my heat gun. Just measuring out some more resin, as you can see, with how particular I am to the last drop, that it is very, you've got to be really particular. I use 3 different kinds of resin. Well, not kinds, but there's resin, Glasscast 3, which is used for pours up to 5 mil. Which leaves a really glossy finish. I use that a lot. Then there's Glasscast 10, which is for deeper pours. I use that for things like trinket boxes, and also for some of my geodes that I've done as well. And then Glasscast 50 is for the even deeper pours. 3 is self-leveling, can't even say that. Just checking the lights now, making sure they work. Just working out the placement. This is the tricky part, really, really tricky. I spent ages, and I've taken most of the video out because it took so long trying to manipulate the wire, the lights, trying to hold them down in the resin. It took forever, absolutely, and it was so messy. I'm going to try and have to try and find an easier way to do it, because honestly it was so time consuming, so messy, and a nuisance. I think I had so many things holding the rice lights down. As I say, I've took out a lot of that video, so only left a little bit in, but you get you get the way that it's meant to go. You get the drift that is tricky. I hate mess. I hate getting resin all over my gloves. As you can see, that's cut to that bit. I just wanted to keep pinging up. So that's me just checking the lights and the placement of each light, making sure it's placed far enough apart that there's no spaces before it's finally encased in the resin. So this is what it looks like with the lollipop sticks and all sorts, trying to hold the lights down until they're dry. That's the hardest part over, I would say. So I'm just adding some more glitter, some iridescent mint coloured love hearts, mylar flakes. And some aurora borealis mylar flakes as well. Really sparkly, but as I say, you don't really see that. Although I try to show you. But it is really pretty. And the lights will just show that up. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video. It's my first voiceover video. So I really enjoyed making this. Customer was delighted with it, and their mum and dad were as well. So that was good. Scraping every last drop. heat gun again. Just checking that they're working. And the good thing about these lights is they're battery operated, so they can be easily changed. I just made up some more resin there. And I'm going to add these purple lilac mylar flakes. They've got an Aurora Borealis look to them as well, and these are really, really gorgeous. Just adds another dimension, as I said earlier. It's all the little touches. Trying to show you them. We're almost at the end. And then it'll be the unmolding, which everybody loves watching an unmolding video. Really satisfying. As I say, I've cut out a lot of the video. I've speeded it up at places just so that it's not too long, but that you still get the essence of all the tutorial, each step of the making process. So a big congratulations to Emily and Sam on their big wedding. This was actually a postponed wedding. It was meant to be during COVID but couldn't go ahead, so they did have a small ceremony. I think it was in March, but they had the big wedding in September. And it was lovely. Lovely venue. The bride was lovely. Everything. The whole thing. Excuse me. Scraping every last bit of resin out the cup. Please subscribe to my channel, it would be really lovely. If you want to see more videos. As I say, I make many things. And I'm learning as well, so you can learn with me. That's how I learn, watching YouTube tutorials. I'm going to do some acrylic Dutch pours soon. I've just not had the time. I've been so busy with making dresses and other things, personal things. So yeah, that'll probably be the next video, will be an acrylic Dutch pour. I've not done one before, so that'll be quite exciting, so you can come and watch that. I've got all the stuff, I've had it for a while. I've got a workshop in my back garden, a huge workshop. It's like a studio. Here we are, this is what it looks like finished before I leave it to dry and cure. Looking really good, really sparkly, with the colours, the wedding colours of mint and lilac. As I say, these are about 2 inches deep. Oh, excuse me. 2 inches deep, so they are quite substantial. They look really pretty with the lights. It makes it look like they're blue, but they're not. They're a cool white colour. It's just with the mould that they're in. And here is the unmolding video. We all like to watch an unmolding video. My daughter held the camera while I unmolded it, although she wanted to do it. That's the best part, I think. Because you just don't know what you're going to see. Ta-da! Really happy with that. That's Emily and Sam in the pictures. I did try and stand it up there, but... Unmolding the S. So I have ordered a lot more letters because I have been asked to do some funeral ashes. Someone's loved one who had passed, I've been asked to put resin in, ashes in resin. So these are all projects that I've still to do. I also got asked to do some bridal flowers, but the flowers were already a week old and some of them were starting to wilt, and really that I really need the flowers within about 48 hours at maximum to get the best out of them. This is me unmolding the E. It's quite tricky unmolding these. They're stuck tight. Great moulds though. Good quality. I will put all the details up to everything I used and where I got them from. I'll put that up on the description. So please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of any new videos I put up. Really loved how these turned out. And this is them with the lights on. Really lovely keepsake from a wedding. And this is what it looked like as a top table. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and subscribe to the channel for more new videos. Thanks for watching.